Hi, this is Rich with Baum Photography, Sacramento, California, and I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. It's a place where we can talk about all things real estate photography related. And I want to thank Adorama for sponsoring this channel. If you're going to go buy some new gear, please, I'd appreciate it if you would use that affiliate link in the show notes. Helps motivate me to make these free, yes, free videos. Okay, well, thanks for hanging out, and today's conversation is not really as exciting as buying gear. It's not sexy, but it's very important. It's called clarification of expectations, and it's something we all need to do in every business, especially what we're dealing with. So our clients are either designers or they're builders, but mainly they're going to be realtors. And you want to make sure you have an understanding with your realtor of what you're going to be doing, what you're going to be supplying, how long it's going to take, this, that, and the other thing. So let's go over a list. I got my phone with me, so I'm not going to miss anything. And I produced a video a little while ago, the same video, but the sound didn't come out. And I'm really working on the sound of my videos, so I want it to be perfect for you guys. Okay, so let's just start off with the first one. What are we supplying here? Are we doing MLS photography? Are we doing design? Are we doing new homes? Well, for real estate, we're doing MLS, and that's its own thing. Now you got to come up with a number, 25, 36, 50 photos. How many photos are you expected? Does your client expect you to deliver? So you want to come out with what you're doing. Now, I personally do it by image, but you can also charge by square feet, but you still have to come up with a number. So you want to really have an understanding that they're going to be okay with that number. The next thing is turnaround time. How long is it going to take you after you have a full day of shooting, go home and edit and get them their photos in a timely manner? Because I do it by 10 o'clock the next day. Now it's just me and what works for me, but I'm not a super high volume shooter. So you got to think, is it going to be 12 hours, 24 hours, 48 hours? It's really up to you. And it doesn't really matter as long as you're okay and the client's okay with that amount of time. So me personally, I'm going to be doing three shoots a day, and I can deliver them by 10 a.m. the next morning usually, even with a twilight shoot in before. So a lot of people ask me how I do that. Well, I've got it down pretty good. I've got about an hour, hour and a half shooting house, and I've got about a half an hour to an hour editing this house. So yeah, twilight shoots are a little bit different. Okay, so are you going to be supplying grass replacements? Are you going to be supplying sky replacements? Are you going to be working on a rainy day? Things like that. Turnaround time and early cancellation. I have a policy within 24 hours. If you cancel, we've got to have a conversation. I usually let it slide the first time with a new agent, but at least that gives me an opportunity to have an understanding, have a conversation to say, hey, I normally charge this, but I'm going to let it slide. So next time, please give me notification within 24 hours, because that time could be used on another shoot if you're not able to live up to that time. So just as long as you have the understanding there. One really important thing is, how long does it take you to photograph the house you're photographing? Let's say it's a 3,500 square foot house, a $1 million home, which could vary between where you live. But how long is it going to take you realistically to shoot to get the quality that you want? Let's say the agent found you because they had to fire the photographer before you, and they were doing not very good work, but they were doing ambient or HDR, and it was taking 15-20 minutes to shoot a house. You come in with your lights, and all of a sudden it's 45 minutes, an hour, and after 45 minutes they're like, what's going on? And you're not even halfway done. So if I'm going to take 2 hours to shoot the house, I'm going to tell them, hey, it's going to take me 2 hours. I hope you're okay with it. And I also say, if you're looking for a 20-minute guy, I'm not the right person, so let's just stop it right at the beginning. So it's really important for you to come forth and give your parameters of what you can do and the amount of time you can do. So, okay. Now, here's a very important part. Have you ever had a shoot where a homeowner is standing in the corner and maybe even giving you instructions to, I want this shot and I want this shot, or the realtor's doing the same thing? Well, me personally, I don't allow that. But my agents know that. And they pretty much say, Rich, just do what you do. I don't want to get in your way. But you've got to set that up. I let them know right away. I can't work with somebody on my but besides me. I can't work with somebody telling me or looking over my shoulder. I can't work with animals on the property. They have to be put away, literally put away. And I can't have people walking through my shot. These are just things that I don't have like wiggle room there. It's my way or the highway. Sorry to be that way. I don't mean it that way. But I let them know that it's to your benefit. It's to their benefit that they listen to what I'm saying, because I'll get them better images. Also, I say I don't like to talk on a shoot. I love to talk, but I don't like talking on shoots because I'm going to forget a room, I'm going to forget something. So I really recommend you have that conversation with your client. It's going to be wonderful for you later. And I love having like the agent not there, the homeowner not there, but that's a whole nother story, okay? What rooms do you want shot? What rooms do you not want shot? Now, walkthroughs can be a good idea, but after a while, you'll understand that a walkthrough can be what I call a time suck. It can literally take 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 minutes. I've had walkthroughs 45 minutes. They get into saying, well, I want this and I want that and I want this. Can't do that because that's taking up a lot of time. So what I suggest is I personally start shooting right as I get in the door. I will ask the agent, I say, is there anything you want me to make sure I shoot, or you want me to make sure I don't shoot? And that's pretty much it. I might say, is there anything else on the property? I might miss like a house on the other outside in the backyard. I missed one the other day, and I would have never even known that this was even on the property. And they were okay with it because they didn't tell me about it. And I always ask, okay? But do you want powder room shot? You know, those little bathrooms. Or do you want that shot? Do you want a laundry room shot? Do you want a garage shot? These are things that a lot of agents don't want, and actually that's a really benefit, unless you're shooting per image like me. But if you don't have to shoot these little rooms, yeah, you can leave your time for better things, and maybe not even have to shoot them at all and be even quicker. But you have to get that clarification with your client, okay? So now, sharing photos with stagers, sharing photos with contractors, using photos on the agent's website, magazines, sometimes magazines, you know, these are really important things. These are your photos, my intellectual property. But you got to make it clear and an understanding that, and most agents know this, but like you can't use this, you can't give them to the next agent or another agent to use on the second listing. You've got to go through you, the photographer. So it's really important to make sure that they're not sharing photos. And a little tip, I have it on my invoice. Every one of my invoices at the bottom have my terms of these are my photos. If you want to use them, they got to go yada, yada, yada through me, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Whatever your contract is, and I recommend getting some kind of wording that works for you and what you're doing, not just copied off the internet. You can find legal counsel to help you with that. It's not too expensive, but really important. And I also have it on my website. So I can always point them, hey, it's right on my website. You can't do this, you can't do that. It's on the invoice that you get every single time I'm there. And when it says, by receipt of this invoice, you're agreeing to these terms. So it's basic terms, so and most realtors understand that, okay? And don't get into, you know, I'm all for licensing images, but getting into the wording of licensing will start a whole new bag of tricks and can of worms. So be careful when you start talking about pricing and things of using your photos. This is really on a case-by-case basis, so there's no 100% for me, at least all the time. Okay, payment schedules. I usually get paid. I send an invoice, I shoot, I send an invoice, and it goes the next day, and I say I need the photo, you know, pay me, send a check, credit card, PayPal, whatever you're doing, send it right away. Some people might be okay with a week. Some people like to get paid before they shoot. That's great too. Kind of wish I did that. But sometimes, like I'm shooting for a big company, it may be a quarterly schedule. So it's going to be 3 months before I get paid. But I understand that before I go in. So have that conversation on how long is it going to take you to get paid. And I rarely have issues with getting paid, but be careful out there because you never know. You could have issues with an agent or a client that is less than reputable. Anyway, but I don't expect you to have that problem, okay? Rush requests. Now, I should have said this when we're talking about delivering, but are you going to deliver the photos, and what happens if they need them sooner? Are you going to charge for it? So you got to get that under control with your agent. Are you okay? I'm happy to do these rush for you, and I'll stay up till 2 in the morning, but it's going to cost me this. And you got to figure out what it's cost, because it's going to cost because you're taking your time away from your family, your dinner, whatever. That's why I have to charge extra for a twilight shoot, because it's taking me away from dinner with my family, and that's not something I want to do. And I let them know that. I'm happy to do it, but I got to get compensated for it, okay? So rush requests, really get that down. And any special things you got to do, like sky replacements or virtual twilights or anything you want to do, just make sure that they understand there's an extra charge. I just did some photoshopping of carpet the other day, which I was okay for, because remember, you cannot modify, well, you shouldn't modify a property or something that's existing. But the carpet was clean the next day. I just didn't have the photos of it. I told them, hey, I'm going to charge you so much for this. I got an understanding, and they said, okay, and I did the work. Everybody is happy, okay? Turnaround time, I said, are you going to be delivering the photos in 24 hours and 48 hours. Me, it's usually 12 hours, but that's just me, and I'm not a high volume shooter. And you know what? For this tutorial, I'm trying to keep it simple. My last one is just going to be mileage and driving. A lot of people ask me, well, how much do I charge for that? Well, that's really up to you, where you live. Here I live in Sacramento. My mileage starts, I go 30 miles from my door to where you are. Anything beyond that, I might charge you by mile, which could be anywhere from government mileage at 58 cents or whatever your government mileage is, might be by the state. But I can also charge by time if I'm going to San Francisco. It may be big traffic, so I'm going to say, hey, if I'm coming to you at this time, I'm going to charge you how long it takes. If it takes 3 hours to get there, I'm going to charge you, okay? If it takes extra. So it's really up to you. Now, I have clients that are living, their office is 15 miles out of my range. So I will extend my range 30 miles, 20, 30 miles from where they are, but that's a unique situation. So each situation is different. So you got to really find your middle ground and find what works for you. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope I brought up some things that you're thinking about. If you're new, this is going to be really important for you. But if you're a seasoned professional, I'm sure you know what's going on and you wish you could redo some of the things. But we have our agreements we made whenever we made them. But you can always raise your prices. You know, it's really up to you. So I want to say thank you for hanging out. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed to my channel. And thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm okay with either. They're all good. Leave a comment. I answer all my comments. And this video is sponsored by Adorama. It's where I go shopping. If you're going to go buy something, please use that affiliate link, the Adorama link, in the show notes, okay? All my information on what I shoot is in the show notes, and all kinds of things. Our podcast, shootingspacesPodcast.com. I hope you'll check that out. So I want to thank you so much, and go shoot better, go shoot smarter. Remember, my motto, or my mission statement for 2020 is, it's not just a job. You're not shooting what you're shooting now forever. It's a career path, and you should treat it like that. How lucky are we? And you know what? I'm really happy with what I do. I shoot what I want to shoot, and I get paid what I want to get paid. You know what? We're in the middle of COVID-19 right now. I wish I was a little busier, but I'm thankful, and I hope you're all doing well too. So just shoot smarter, better, go make more money so you can spend more time getting gear, more money with your family, and go on vacation and go shoot some things for yourself. Okay? Rich with Rich Baum Photography saying, see you later. Bye.